So I made a tier list beforehand. It was kind of mid because I didn't play the game. I think new season is good. My only issue is that Zen Brig is really strong. I'm gonna go from left to right, and I'm gonna discuss each tank. Doomfist is mostly garbage unless you are a Doomfist player. If you are an average Andy that can't play Doomfist, I don't think you play Doomfist. There's better picks that are easier to play. He's good at diving and stuff, and he can still be played. I think if you're good at him, you can play. I don't think he's absolute garbage. I think you can still get value on him. The average person that plays Doomfist, I genuinely think you shouldn't be picking him. Actually, yeah, okay, I'll agree. Maybe he's trash if you're not good at him, and plus he's buggy, and plus he hasn't gotten any changes, and I think other tanks are just better. D.Va. I think D.Va is really good. I don't think she's quite meta. I'm not sure. From what I've played, I feel like a lot of divas struggle. Even when playing against me, usually people just go D.Va and just roll me. My views might be skewered, but I genuinely don't feel like D.Va is that OP. She dies so fast because of bigger hitboxes on the bullets and the passive. She has more health. Her ult is good. Her ult gets a lot more kills. But considering the fact that Brig Zen is so good, I think she's good. I don't know if she's meta. I think she's bad against Rush. I think Sigma rolls her. I think she's good on dive, but I genuinely think that Winston dive is better than D.Va dive. So I'll put her on good. I think it's fair. I don't think she's meta. Queen. I think Queen is good. I think she's a pop stomper. I'm not sure if she's good in pro play. She probably is. Like Lucio, Kiriko might be really good, might not be. Tracer and stuff. I think she will struggle against rush maps, against rush comms, but she can still hold her own. I don't necessarily think she's meta. She's really bad on dive maps, so you don't play her on Gibraltar and stuff. I think she's good. She's a pop stomper for sure. She can carry games. You can land a lot of shots, a lot of knives, a lot of axes. But I think she's better than playable. I think she's good. Orisa. I'm inclined to say that Orisa is meta. Every time I've picked Orisa, I've been getting so many kills because you hit so many headshots. Plus, she's really unkillable. And this is ranked. Again, I'm not talking about like pro play. Pro play is always a little bit different. Every time you pick Horse, it's always a good situation to pick Horse in. You can peel in the sense that you can counter dive. You can kill people across the map super easily. I think she will struggle against dive comps and stuff. I don't think she's meta in pro play, but if you are somebody who's struggling on their main pick, be it Winston or whatever, you can just go Orisa. Orisa also counters Rhine comps in a way, like rush comps are gonna struggle against her. If you're having a hard time on tank, if you go Orisa, I think much easier. You can just sit point. I think she's really flexible. I think in ranked, Orisa is S tier. I think she's meta. Because she can do so many things. She's good against every comp. Yeah, you won't see dive comps in lower elos. I think in like really high-end lobbies, I think Orisa is not as good if dive is meta, and I think dive is meta with Winston. I thought Rush is meta, but Zen is just too strong for Rush to be meta. I think Orisa is meta in ranked. You can run down lobbies for sure. I thought Reinhardt was meta, but the fact that Orisa really fucks him, plus Zen is meta, and I think there's a lot of maps where it's really hard for Rein to do stuff. I genuinely think like rush maps are really good with Rhine, but maybe I'm wrong. I think on King's Row and stuff, it's really good to play full rush. I think on Rhine in ranked, unless it's a rush map, I think they've had a really hard time. When Zen nerfs happen, or if they happen, I think Rhine will be S tier. I think he's just playable. I think you have to be really good on Rhine. Plus, I think a lot of people don't know how to play Rhine. I think there's easier characters to get value on, because he needs a lot of resources from his team. But if his team plays around him, I think he's definitely really good. Like if it's like full rush comp, I think he's playable. I'll put him in playable. That's my honest opinion. Anyways, Roadhog. Next, I think Roadhog is trash. I've been playing a lot of Winston. At the beginning, it was kind of hard because everyone was playing Hog. But I think over the next few days, people realize how easy it is to kill Hog nowadays. His passive healing suffers because the DPS passive, which always is proc basically. His hooks, he can't kill anyone unless on certain maps. I've been hooked by Hog multiple times on Winston, and Hog hasn't even scratched the surface of my HP. He can't one-shot anything, and he can't heal himself, and he has no shield, and he can't help his team, and I think he's really bad. I think there's a lot of ways to counter his hook from different characters. I think Zen comps absolutely ruin him. I think you don't even need an Ana to kill this guy, but if you have an Ana Zen, he can't play the game. He's absolutely useless. I think Sigma is S tier. I see no reason for Sigma to not be S tier. You can't play him on every map, but on the maps you can play him, you should, because if you don't, you lose the game. If you are playing Brig Zen on a lot of maps, Junkertown, Havana, Circuit, even like, you can even make it work on Gibraltar, which is harder. I think D.Va is better there. I think on most maps, he's just so good. Yeah, I think Sigma Brig, if your team is playing Brig Zen or Bab Brig or Bab Zen or stuff like that, I think Sigma is especially good. Sigma does so much damage. I've been hitting a lot more shots on him. His ult is still the same because it's based on max HP, so it hasn't changed basically. I think when you have to play Sig, if you don't play Sig, you lose the game. Straight up. I think if the enemy team is playing Sig with Bab Zen or Brig Zen, there is no other tank you can pick except Sigma. And most maps, especially on Havana and Circuit and Junkertown. I think the moment the enemy team goes Brig Zen Sig, you lose the game unless you pick Sig. Like, you need to go out of your mind or the enemy team needs to play really badly. So I think he's S tier. Next up, we have Winston. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I think Winston is meta. I think Winston is better than Orisa. I think Winston is S. There's barely been any games where I couldn't play Winston. I'm not cooking. My brain isn't zoinked. If I wasn't stacking with Necros and, other silly guys, I would have been rolling. I was 8-1 today before going silly mode. I am really good Winston, and my opinion is biased. And you don't have to listen to it, but I think if there's a lot of good Winston players and decent Winston players, I think this is the chance for you to go around and be silly. Plus, unironically, I believe Winston is good on almost every map. On almost every map. On the closed-off Lijiang map, I think he's bad. On the other two Lijiang maps, he's decent. He's good. On Nepal, he kind of struggles, so I think Nepal is one of his worst maps. King's Row, he can be playable. Not always, that's another really bad map for him. Havana, on first point, you're gonna struggle, so you can go Sigma and then Winston for second point, and third point Sigma again. Circuit Royale, I think on defense, you can place Winston on first and second point, and attack as well, depending on the enemy comp. First point's kind of rough, and then I think every other map, you can play Winston pretty well. I think on push maps, you can play him. I think on payload maps, I think every payload map except... I think every hybrid and payload map you can play him. I think he's really good. Dorado, Gibraltar, Root, you can play him. Root is kind of iffy, but you can still play him. I think Dive is really good. I think he kills a lot. I think if you're really good at juggling, you can kill a lot. Like, juggles are really good. He has 1125 HP with Primal. His Primal has been giga buffed because he deals more damage with it. Plus, heals up more HP when you ult. King's Row is not good for Winston. Please do not listen. Do not cook my brain. Winston is not good on King's Row. There is so many things you can argue with me, but do not argue with me where Winston is good. I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. King's Row is not good map for Winston. King's Row is straight forward line straight forward, and you on Winton have nowhere to do anything because they go point and then you zap and then you jump and then if you don't jump you die, and if you jump in you die because you have nothing to do, and they force point and they don't have to do anything and they just speed onto your team and you can't stop them, and what's the point? And then they just push card, and what do you do? Where do you go? You can't do shit. Anyways, guys, just because you've seen X tank does not mean that X tank is meta. Just FYI. We'll see. I'll think about it, but I think Winston is meta for sure. I think Winston is really good, and I think if you're a good Winston, you can carry games a lot. I think if you... Plus, a lot of Zen comps suffer against Winston, depending on the map, depending on your team. Zen Brick still rolls you, but I think Winston good. I think Winston S. Orisa might not be S, but we'll see. For now, I'm sure that Winston and Sigma are S tier. I'm completely unbiased. Bo is interesting because so many people say he's meta, but I haven't really struggled against Bo that much. People say he's unkillable. I think Bo is really hard to play. If you're good on Bo, if you're a baller, you might get a lot of value. I don't think he's that playable for most people. I think in lower ranks he's really good because lower ranks can't shoot. I think he is meta if you're a baller, but I don't think he's meta for most people. I think he can be good in lower ranks because in lower ranks all you have to do is just sit on cart and you never die on ball. I don't know if he's playable. I think he's good, maybe. I don't know if I would put him playable or good. I think he's good. It's hard to kill him. He gets value from the passive. You can carry a lot of low ranked games. In high ranked, it's a little bit rough, but you can play him on dive maps. You can play him on payload maps. I think you can play him on basically every map. That's the thing. I think Bo is really flexible. And if you're really good on him, I think you can carry a lot of games. Yeah, but Chasm, you cannot... Guys... You can't look at Chasm and say that Bo is hardcore meta because of Chasm. That's the problem. You can't look at me and say Winston's meta. You can't look at Cloudy and say Reinhardt is hardcore meta. I'm gonna lock in. This doesn't work this way. It's like looking at streamers that are successful and say streaming is the best career choice. I'm gonna go start streaming. And then you fucking lose all of your money and you fail and you waste your time. It doesn't work that way. Things have nuance. Chasm has been playing bow since before you guys have been born. This guy has basically invented bow gaming. He invented bowling. He is the bowler. I said Winston is meta. Yeah, because I'm based. I'm not cringe. But I think bow is good. I think bow is good. Meta does matter. Don't say meta doesn't matter. It doesn't matter up until, you know, champion rank now. You know, I think meta matters once you start getting higher and higher. But meta in general doesn't matter. I agree. But it starts mattering when you start playing in high elo lobbies. I don't think Zarya is below trash. I think that bow is good. And I think that's a fair opinion. And I think if you're really good in bow, he might be meta. But he's really hard hero to play. He's extremely hard. Next up, Zarya. Zarya is playable. I've played a little bit Zarya. Zarya kind of is mid. She's not that OP. She's not that trash. She's whatever, right? Things have more HP, so it's hard to kill them in Graph. She's slim, like hitbox wise, but it's easier to hit her, so a lot of her value gets negated because of the new, you know, projectile sizes. Dive runs her over, spam comps run her over, hardcore rush runs her over. She's still a pop stomper in some games, but I don't think she's that good. I don't think she's trash because I think she's still better than Doom and Roadhog. She can still beam your ass. But I think she's playable. I don't think she's OP. They didn't really buff her or anything. She gets more energy because of the bubbles, because of the hitbox buff. But I don't think she's OP. I don't think she's good. I think she's playable. I didn't see many situations to play Zarya, because dive comps are gonna run her over and kill her, or just ignore her and kill her teammates. Rush comps are gonna just run her over again. She cannot compete against Ram or Reinhardt in Rush. And I think bow comps just, you can't do anything against them. So I think she's playable. I think that's fair to say. You can still destroy lobbies with her, but that's in lower elos. I don't see her being playable in high elos. She wasn't playable beforehand, so still better than Roadhog, still better than Doomfist. Okay, next up, Ram. I don't think Ram is meta. I don't know. I don't think Ram is meta. I haven't seen many Rams, and I don't think he pops off that much. I think Queen and Bo and Diva are better than him. I think Orisa and Sigma are better than him. I think Winston is better than him. He has a hard time against Zen. He has a hard time against an DPS passive. His punches deal a lot less damage because everything has more HP. Like, he's bad against, you know, so many comps. He's bad against dive in most maps. He can't really do much. People can survive like 1 or 2 more punches depending on whether you're tank or just a squishy. Which means, like, before it would take 4 punches to kill someone, right? So 60 to, yeah, 60 to 40. Now you need 5 punches to kill somebody. And if it's a tank, you never kill them. And it's really hard to kill stuff because Tracer and stuff are meta and Zen is meta. 3 punches in melee, but you can't always melee. I mean, Lucia is good. Again, like, I think this might be an interesting opinion, but I think Ram is worse than the Reinhardt. If you want to play Rush, I think Ram is just worse right now because every swing on Rein deals 100 damage. You can pin in, you can close the distance. He has a shield to negate CC. I think he has more armor. His shatter, if like playing Rush v Rush against Ram, I think Rein just clears the entire enemy team with a shatter because Ram can't block it. I mean, you can shield it, but it's not that good. Ramut is not that good against Rein because Rein can just shield it and they can run away. You can 5-strike through the team. Swings deal more damage than punches. I don't think Ram is that good. I might be cooked in the head. I haven't seen that much Ram. I think if you're playing against Rush comps, it could be fine. Yeah, Ram punch goes through Rein shield, bro, but why do you need to shield the Ram? Like, imagine a Rein Rush comp with Mei, Reaper, Lucio, Bab versus Ram Rush comp versus Mei, Reaper, Lucio, Bab. Rein just fucking pins in and starts swinging, and you just lamp him, and he just kills everything. Like, 100 damage, you just swing everything. Like, if he gets low, he can pin out, he can pin in, he can pin Ram out of the map, he can fire strike beforehand, get them low. Ram can punch, he deals 60 per punch, and his punches are fucking slow. Like, you're not gonna be shielding. Like, Rein especially doesn't really care about the Ram punches, because Ram has so much armor and HP. Like, if Ram starts punching, he's gonna be half HP by the time, like, he even gets 2 punches in, and then Rein can just pin and kill him. Ram just needs to live while DPS kills team. Yeah, but then why play Ramatra? Like, if your entire point is to play slow, Play Sig, play Orisa. Play Junker Queen, play Bo, play Diva. There is no point. I don't see a point to it. I think Rein is a better matchup against Ram, especially now. So I don't think Ram is meta. I think he's good. I don't think he's good. I think he's playable. I think all of these tanks are better than Ram. And I think in a rush v rush situation, Rein clears Ram. And I think I'm not cooked. I think I'm not cooked. I think this is correct. Plus Ram cannot play on high grounds. Plus Ram cannot play against Poke. Plus Ram can't play against anything. Against dive, he's bad. At least Rein can get a few kills with charge. Yes, I'm putting Mauga in trash. Look at this perfect tier list. I think Mauga is better than these guys, but I think he's trash. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Why Lemur? Appreciate it. So I think Mauga is trash. He didn't get any buffs. He has more HP, but he's constantly minus 20% healing because he can't block anything. Because he really destroys Winston, so that's a funny thing. But he's bad against Sig. I think he's bad against Orisa. I think against Queen he's bad, against Zarya he's bad, against Diva he's bad. Against Rein maybe he's fine, depends on the Rein player. Against Bo he could kill him, but not really. His damage output could be really good, but most of the meta picks just destroy him. You can't play Ram on Gibraltar or high ground maps like Dorado, because dive is meta there. Of course, there's going to be outliers and people are going to be really good on Mauga and Popov, but most people won't. I think he's a pop stomper, so you could carry low elo, but again, you can carry low elo without hands and feet and eyes and monitor and sound and whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't think he's playable because I think he just gets destroyed. I've never seen a Mauga. He's not good against Poke, so that's the thing. All Mauga, Roadhog, and Doomfist, all 3 of them are just never good. There's no reason for you to play them on poke maps like Havana and Junkertown and Circuit. They're just bad. There's no reason for you to play them on maps with high grounds like Numbani and Gibraltar and Dorado. They're just bad. There's no point in you playing them in rush maps like Kings Row or Nepal. They're just bad there. There's no situation where these tanks are the optimal pick, and that's why I picked them, put them on trash. I think the other tanks have places where they're optimal. Most situations, you know, yeah, I think most situations the trash tier, including Mauga, just get no value and they suffer really hard from the passive from DPS. Of course, I'm sure that people are gonna disagree with some stuff. I'm not sure about Risa being meta, but I think she's decent. I think if you're really good on certain heroes, I think you can carry on every hero. Don't get me wrong. But I think you can carry more on the meta heroes than you could on trash heroes. I don't know, I'm least confident about Risa, because I'm not sure if I would put her on meta, but it looks pretty this way. Why would you play Doomfist for high ground maps instead of playing Winston or Diva? Would you buff Rein? I don't think you buff Rein, I think you just nerf Zen. Zen is just too strong right now. He's the HP of a tank and the damage of a Bastion. Plus, it's a lot easier to hit his shots, so it's just the character. Any final thoughts? I think this is the base tier list. Alright guys, after this I'm ending stream. Thoughts? I think good thoughts. I don't think Ram is meta. Like realistically, when have you seen a Ram? Like every game there is no Ram. You just play Briggs Zen. What are you gonna do with Ram? I think maybe I'm cooked. That's my opinion. I see them every game. I don't. Most games on the day I just see Sigmas. I mean not Sigmas. I don't see Rams. People just swap off Ram. Yeah, but I think it's spam meta. Can you elaborate on Winston? No, I can't. Just watch my... I'm gonna upload this on YouTube. I'm too tired and my brain is too cooked. I'll upload this on my 3rd YouTube channel. It's gonna be out today. Okay, that is my final thoughts.